Here's everything you might have missed in the Spider-Man No Way Home teaser. Spider-Man drops wherever a trailer can. After what feels like exactly 100 years, the Spider-Man No Way Home teaser is finally here to chronicle the next chapter in the exciting saga of Night Monkey's close personal friend Peter Parker.
The Night Monkey?
Yeah, that's what it said on the news.
Picking up in the wake of Peter getting doxxed by Mysterio on J. Jonah Jameson's InfoWars-esque show in the finale of Spider-Man Far From Home, No Way Home finds our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man fresh out of friendly neighbors. Fearful and desperate for a solution, Peter does what any one of us would do in a similar situation. He asks that one dude he knows who dabbles in the occult to cast a spell and make so that Peter no longer lives on Earth 6-1 sucks. What follows promises to be multiversal mayhem of the highest order, building on the chaotic seeds sown by the finale of Loki and setting the stage for Doctor Strange 2. The teaser trailer itself is jam-packed with Easter eggs, unexpected plot twists, expected plot twists, and the arrival of some villains that might just require a pack of Peter Parkers to defeat. We're going to break it all down for you in just a moment, but if you prefer to go into this totally unspoiled, make like Wong, and find the nearest portal on out of here. Okay, let's get into it, shall we? The trailer opens with Peter and MJ lying down on a rooftop with a piano version of the Spider-Man theme playing in the background. MJ reads the New York Post's cover story, Peter Parker and his spider minions, about how Peter has the ability to hypnotize females, something that male funnel-weaving spiders can actually do by releasing a particular pheromone. Clearly, the public is freaked out about Peter Parker and whether he really can do whatever a spider can. Behind them on the wall is graffiti reading Ditko, a subtle homage to Spider-Man co-creator Steve Ditko. When Peter mentions how crazy things are down there, we see Peter and MJ swinging through New York City just like at the post-credit scene of Far From Home. Every screen in the city is tuned into J. Jonah Jameson's bombshell report revealing that Peter Parker is Spider-Man and claiming that he murdered Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, in cold blood. We see the classic comic image of Peter Parker's face half in costume, half out of costume, except now it's plastered with Public Enemy number 1. Next, we see a handcuffed Peter Parker being interrogated by police in an NYPD station. Although many people are speculating the man in the white shirt is Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, I'm pretty sure that's just another NYPD cop, and Peter's lawyer hasn't shown up on the scene yet. While Tony Stark made a lot of preparations for his young ward, something tells me that he'll wind up getting a public defender in the form of the Man Without Fear, Matt Murdock, later on, but they're not going to give everything away in this first trailer, okay? Fun fact, Peter is also wearing his "The physics is theoretical, but the fun is real" shirt from Spider-Man Homecoming. After that, we see Peter and MJ making their way through a crowd of angry protesters outside their high school. MJ asks if Peter feels a sense of relief now that his secret is out in the open and he doesn't have to lie. But one look at the crowd should explain why he's more stressed than ever. One of the signs in the background reads Devil in Disguise and features Peter caricatured like Satan, which is about as close to getting Mephisto in this movie as we're gonna get.
Ralph Boner?
That is extra funny and extra fitting, given that No Way Home is apparently adapting the 2007 comic book storyline One More Day. Basically, in the comics, Peter publicly revealed his identity during Civil War, which leads to Aunt May being fatally wounded by a gunshot. Peter tries to do everything in his power to save her and ultimately makes a deal with the demon Mephisto. The demon promises to save Aunt May's life in exchange for erasing Peter's marriage to Mary Jane from existence. Mephisto wipes the world's collective memory that Spider-Man is actually Peter Parker and hits the reset button on Peter's life, angering a lot of fans in the process. Next, we see Peter and MJ standing atop the Queensboro Bridge, which you may recall from the climax of Sam Raimi's OG Spider-Man movie. Here, though, they're surrounded by helicopters, both police and news choppers. One of them reads WYPE, or WIPE, which is likely a competitor to Marvel's in-universe Daily Bugle and WHIH, as well as a clever way of foreshadowing what Doctor Strange is about to do to the public's memory of Peter. WIPE. Inside the school, Peter is less of a celebrity and more of a sideshow, as all the kids vie to take photos of him. Meanwhile, Betty Brant has apparently graduated from hosting the high school's news show to being an actual television news reporter. Everything's coming up, Betty. At home, we see Aunt May and Peter watching J. Jonah Jameson on TV while police sirens flash outside. They react with surprise to someone walking through the door, which may be connected to the shot of the destroyed home and the group of guards with guns surrounding Happy Hogan later in the trailer. As Peter explains this is hurting a lot of people, we see Ned and Aunt May also being questioned by the police. Next, we see Peter roll up to 177A Bleecker Street, the home of the Sanctum Sanctorum, Dr. Strange's base of operations for using the mystic arts to defend Earth from all manner of interlopers. As established by the Halloween decorations and little Dracula lights that remind Peter of Dr. Strange's existence, No Way Home takes place in New York City during autumn. However, the inside of the sanctum is covered in snow and frost. Either a spell went awry, Wong cranked up the central AC a little too high, or they never fixed that Hulk-sized hole in the roof from Avengers Infinity War. Regardless, our prize is to see Doctor Strange in full-on winter wear, sweatpants, a Columbia University hoodie, a winter coat/cloak of levitation combo, winter boots, and a mug that says, "Oh, for fuck's sake." It's a powerful look that definitely befits a Steven more than a Doctor Strange or Sorcerer Supreme.
That feels weird, but I'll allow it.
After that, we see Peter in a brand new black and gold Spider-Man suit running through a feast center. First appearing in 2008's Amazing Spider-Man number 548, FEAST stands for Food, Emergency Aid, Shelter, and Training. It's a charity designed to help the homeless that Aunt May gets heavily involved in. As it turns out, though, it's secretly a cover for Martin Lee's criminal activities as the villainous Mr. Negative and his gang, the Inner Demons. With that said, I don't think we'll be seeing the darker side of Martin if he's in this movie. As Peter explains how Mysterio revealing his identity screwed up Peter's entire life, we see Peter and MJ from the end of Far From Home surrounded by a crowd of people. Peter basically asks for the one more day special, and we see Doctor Strange's magical murder basement, an arcane chamber that gives off vibes similar to Agatha Harkness's basement in WandaVision. Wong warns Strange not to cast the spell because it's too dangerous, which Strange immediately takes as a direct challenge and a guarantee that he's going to cast that spell. Wong leaves through a portal, presumably to go fight Abomination in an underground fight club in Macau because someone needs to earn enough money to pay the heating bill in this damn place, Steven. Either that or he's off to spend some time in Kamartaj where it's warmer, which is saying something considering that that place is in the Himalayas. Now, for everyone wondering why Doctor Strange would cast a spell that's so dangerous, sure. It could be someone else impersonating the Sorcerer Supreme, but this is a man who is defined by arrogance. He thought he could text and drive. He had no qualms about reading forbidden books from the library at Kamartaj, and he always assumes that he knows exactly what to do in every situation. Does he? No. But he needs to be twice as smug now that Tony Stark is gone. Okay? That's his job. Back in the magical murder basement, Strange begins casting the spell using one of Peter's hairs like he did with Thor's in Ragnarok. Strange explains it will make the entire world forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, which immediately gives Peter spellcaster's remorse. Unfortunately, Peter's anxious questioning and the instability of the spell cause something to go wrong. We see the magical energy erupt and the fabric of reality twist, revealing a blue and purplish background similar to what we saw outside of He Who Remains' Citadel in the Loki finale. The next scene features Peter Parker running through a New York that seems to be bending, warping, and folding in on itself, similar to what we saw in the movie Doctor Strange when the Ancient One sent Caecilius and his forces to the mirror dimension. Here, though, it seems like Peter and Strange are falling through one reality into another as they accidentally travel the multiverse. After all, Strange even says the multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little. In the next shot, we see what appears to be Jamie Foxx's Electro attacking police cruisers and a pair of news vans, one belonging to NY1 and the Daily Bugle. Note that this time around, the electricity is bright yellowish rather than blue in hue, suggesting that this Electro is a different one than the one we saw in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. After that, we see Doctor Strange standing on top of a train, which he then seemingly replicates and turns into a tunnel of trains surrounding Peter. Looks so cool. Who is back in his Far From Home Spider-Man suit. His cloak of levitation is nowhere to be seen here, suggesting that something happened to it. The trains, meanwhile, begin to branch off on multiple paths, like the representation of the multiverse we saw in Loki. Doctor Strange, rather aggressively, tells Peter the problem is that he's trying to live two different lives, and the longer he does it, the more dangerous it becomes. We see him yeet Pete out of his body like the Ancient One did to him many moons ago. Peter has his hand inside a mysterious green and gold box, which houses some arcane object. Maybe this is the Orb of Agamotto? It's definitely something important, so keep your eyes of Agamotto peeled. Next, Peter, in his Iron Spider costume, stands ready to fight on a bridge full of crashed and overturned cars. We see a group of armed men with assault weapons and laser sights slowly walking towards the wreckage of what appears to be Aunt May's apartment while Happy Hogan looks on in horror. This could be the moment from the One More Day comics storyline where Aunt May is horrifically injured during an attack from an assassin hired by the Kingpin who was still in jail at the time. Those comics are nuts. You should read them. After that, a very hard-to-see version of the Lizard appears behind Peter in the Sanctum's basement and tries to attack him, but Peter's Spidey senses tingle and let him dodge. Then we see another shot of Electro attack Peter in his black and gold costume with a powerful blast of lightning, alongside what may or may not be Sandman as well. Could just be dirt. I don't know. Next, we hear the familiar laugh of Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn, aka the Green Goblin, one of Spider-Man's greatest villains. This is confirmed when one of the Green Goblin's iconic pumpkin bombs from the original Spider-Man movies rolls onto the pavement. As it explodes, we can spot a pair of references to past Spider-Man adventures. The George Washington Bridge, which is where Gwen Stacy received the worst chiropractic adjustment of her life during a battle with the Green Goblin. We also see a taxi with the number 1228 on it, which could be a subtle reference to the late, great Stan Lee's birthday, December 28th. As Strange warns Peter to be careful what he wishes for, we see one of Dr. Octopus's mechanical tentacles fly forward. It's going to look sweet in 3D. Peter responds by leaping into action on top of a car, his suit transforming into the Iron Spider nanosuit. From the smoke emerges Alfred Molina as Otto Octavius, straight out of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2.
Hello, Peter.
How does he instantly recognize Peter Parker? Only time will tell. But, I mean, to be fair, Tom Holland does have an extremely Peter Parker energy about him.
I'm Peter, by the way.
But Peter has bigger fish to fry because he's going to have to face down the Sinister Six, a group of his deadliest villains who want him dead no matter what universe they're in. In addition to Doctor Strange, Peter will likely need help from other versions of himself as played by Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in order to save the day. The real question is, who will be the sixth member of this Sinister Six? We've got Green Goblin, Electro, Dr. Octopus, Lizard, and Sandman seemingly featured in this trailer, but the last member is a mystery. If it's Rhino, and I hope it is, I also hope they ditch Paul Giamatti's awful mech suit. I mean, that thing was just dumb as hell. Come on. In addition to the multiverse of it all, the presence of these iconic villains from across Spider-Man canon suggests that in addition to adapting One More Day, No Way Home will also riff on 2003's Happy Birthday, as we speculated back in January. In Happy Birthday, one of my personal favorite Spider-Man stories of all time, Dormammu manages to make his way into our dimension. To stop him, Doctor Strange sends Spidey through space and time to stop Mr. Fantastic from accidentally opening a portal that lets Dormammu through. In the process of doing so, Spider-Man relives many of his iconic moments across history and fighting much of his expansive rogues gallery. So what if, instead of just Tom Holland's Spidey's history, Peter is experiencing iconic moments from every incarnation of Spider-Man across the multiverse? It would be a perfect way to make this storyline fit within the context of what Loki established about the multiverse, while setting up more mayhem to come in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Whatever residual damage is done during No Way Home will leave the door open for other multiversal entities like Shumagorath, for example, wink wink, to try and slide into our universe's DMs. After ignoring Wong's warning, the Sorcerer Supreme and America Chavez will have their work cut out for them, between dealing with a Wanda Maximoff on the hunt for her hypothetical kids and powerful interdimensional beings. That movie's going to be awesome. Anyway, there you have it, folks. That is everything we spotted in the Spider-Man No Way Home teaser trailer. We'll have plenty of other theories, deep dives, and breakdowns in the days ahead as we get closer to No Way Home's December 17th release date. In the meantime, though, tell us, what did you think of the trailer? Did you spot anything that we missed? Do you think it's Venom and not the Lizard? Okay, whatever. Let us know in the comments below, and for the latest and greatest in the world of pop culture, stay tuned to Nerdist.com.